Hey guys, that's Little Magic here with the second half of the spoilers from Masters 25. At least for today, that is, the release ones. It was just a lot, so I had to split it into two videos. So let's resume with Renewed Faith. No, I mean like the card called Renewed Faith. I have no faith in the set whatsoever. By the way, doesn't it look like she's like trying to drink from like a can of pop after going to the dentist and getting Novocaine shots? I don't know what that face is, but it's freaking me out right now. Anyway, as an instant for 3, you gain 6 life, and then it has cycling 2, and then whenever you cycle, you gain 2 life. So it's just not a good card. Like, even if you have a trigger that says every time you gain life, it's not very good, unless it's Sunbond, then it's very good. By the way, Sunbond damn well better be in this set. Next up, the number 1 card that people want banned more than any other card in all of Modern. Maybe Ensnaring Bridge, but I've heard more complaints about this one individually. Simian Spirit Guide. I don't need a monkey to come show up and explain to me how broken this card is. We all know it, okay? You exile it from your hand and you get 1 red mana. Other than that, it's a wonderful 2/2 vanilla ape tribal for 3. Wow. Lot of people play it for that. I have had enough control decks that people have resorted to actually trying to kill me with this. Like, it's their only hope. They throw it out on the battlefield like, I'm gonna ape you to death. I'm like, oh look, you got past my Isochron Scepter with a counterspell on it. Good for you. This stupid card gives you 1 more mana for doing nothing. It's basically garbage power 9. It's like Dark Ritual, except you don't need to feed in any mana, and that's the problem. It's literally just, here, have a mana. The only thing that this is used to do is cast spells before you would normally be able to cast them, and I don't just mean like, oh, but it's like an Elvish Mystic. No, there's nothing even equivalent with this in Elvish Mystic. Okay, let me read you guys some of the cards from the banned and restricted list from other formats. You ready for this? Okay, Chrome Mox is banned from Modern because you can drop it in for 0 and then you tap it for, well, you got to exile a card and it's a non-artifact, non-land card, so okay, but then you get to tap for that color. So it's 1 color too early and recurring. Cloud Post, it comes into play tapped, so there's that, but then you can tap it and add 1 generic mana to your mana pool, or actually 1 colorless mana to your mana pool for each locus in play. So too much mana too easily too soon. They banned it. Rite of Flame is banned in Modern. It's a sorcery that costs 1, so it's not even an instant, people. Add 2 red mana to your mana pool, then add 1 red mana to your mana pool for each card named Rite of Flame in your graveyard. I believe that was just too damn good for Storm, but yeah, it's, oh look, I'm generating too much mana too quickly. Even Seething Song is banned in Modern. You pay 3 as an instant and generate 5 mana. 5 red mana. That's not even fast or early. Well, unless, of course, you can ramp into the 3. Like, for example, literally with Simian Spirit Guide. That's not even an example. That's like, that happened. Summer Bloom is banned because it lets you play up to 3 additional lands this turn. That's just too much mana too quickly. Oh, I was going to read through, like, Vintage and Legacy, but, I mean... Like, Black Lotus is restricted. I wonder why. Because it costs 0, you tap it, and you get 3 mana of any color. I wonder why that might be a problem. It's almost like in the entire history of Magic, the number 1 biggest problem they had with balancing was either 1, casting stuff for free, or 2, getting too much mana too early in the game, because that's intrinsically the limit. That is the balance of Magic, is that you can't just play a 6 cost on turn 1. So look up any Modern deck that runs Simian Spirit Guide and just look at it. It's going to be an all-in single shot, combo, and if it doesn't go off, it might have a backup plan, but usually it's just, I need to do this stupid degenerate combination of garbage, and this is how I start it. That's why everybody said, well, Wizards, if you want interactive gameplay, you want this to be fun and interesting and worth watching, because that's literally what they said. You need to stop them from doing things too early. Just gimmicky, oh cool, I'm going to get this off way too early on turn 3, turn 4, and I'm going to win the game. Again, the same way, without my opponent doing anything because they're tapped out. Because they just took their turn 3, so of course they're tapped out. This card just needs to be just gone. I mean, and honestly, It's only $4 from Planar Chaos, which, by the way, is the only time it was printed. It was a common. Now it's an uncommon in Masters 25, and it's still pre-ordering at $250. But if they banned it, like whatever, people start losing $250. But the problem is they'd also lose the $1,000 deck that goes with it. That's the only reason Wizards hasn't banned it yet. A bunch of pro players got together and said, just ban the damn card, and they just ignored them, from what I heard. That's all hearsay. I have no proof of this, but it was on Reddit. So yes, this wonderful, stupid chimp ghost, this is the card that is most requested from what I've heard. The rumor is to be gone from Modern. People just want this card to go burn in hell. I couldn't agree more. So anyway, let's move on to the totally fair card, Ancient Stirrings. So it's a $3.50 card from Rise of the Eldrazi, which is pretty damn good for, well, at the time, a common. Now it's been upshifted to uncommon. Very odd what they're doing with rarity, but I get it. They got to play with it because they got to choose one card from every set, in case you didn't know that. So look at the top card of cards, 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a colorless card from among them, put it into your hand, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I mean, it is colorless, and it does have to be... Oh, no, it doesn't have to be a creature. That's right. It just has to be colorless. I just don't like this card. I just know what type of decks it goes in, and I just don't like it. Don't get me wrong, though. Collected Company is infinitely worse than that card. In fact, I've never seen Ancient Stirrings played outside of Tron, so it's a one-trick pony, basically. Anyway, we got some dude chucking something... what is that, a frog? A tree? I don't know what that is. Looks like some kind of imp, because that's what's in his other hand. That's whatever. It's a Brian Stoutarm, which sounds like what some millennial would name their kid. Oh, it's not Brian, it's Brian. If you're going to name your kid some stupid shit that isn't even a real name because you think it'll make him sound unique because your kids are special and they're more unique and special than anybody else's kids, just stop. Just don't. Just name him John. Or just go back in time and stop yourself from having kids because you're too stupid, clearly. Anyway, this is the original Lorwyn card. It's 79 whole cents, and it's a 4/4 for 4 with lifelink, so I already like it. And you can pay 1 red, sacrifice another creature. It deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target player, or as I like to call it, fling. And everybody calls it that. So I'm actually going to do something I never do. It's a 79-cent rare, complete waste of a rare slot, absolute crap for the value. But I love this card. It's so freaking hilarious. The lore, the artwork, the story, the coloring. I want this in foil. What it does, it's funny, it's hilarious, it's lifelink. I love everything about this card. I want to marry this card. There's so much utility you get out of it. If you do some kind of act of treason, you could fling their own creature at them after already hitting them with it. I love this card. Next up, we've got Akroma Angel of $2.99. Another complete and utter waste of a mythic, especially since the other Akroma is already in the damn set. What were they thinking? Akroma Angel of Fury is already a $1.49 boat anchor of a mythic in this set. Now they got this garbage mythic. What the hell? Want to hear the kicker? Both of these versions of Akroma were in From the Vault Angels, which was just printed. These are the worst 2 choices for mythics ever. Like, I get that this is literally Iconic Masters, but putting it in twice doesn't mean like, oh, it's so iconic. It's so iconic we had to waste your time and your money by putting this in as a mythic. And the real collector's one that you want if you're a collector is the freaking collector set, also known as From the Vault. This level of stupidity burns so hard, I don't think that this having protection for red could even stop it. Anyway, this is an 8 cost, which means it's unplayable in draft because you're never going to get to 8 fucking mana. It's triple white, so good fucking luck coming up with that, and it's a flying first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, pro, black, pro, red, 6/6, which honestly isn't even that good if you think about it. No lifelink. If they're playing Plummet, she's dead. I mean, it's only 2 colors. Since when do you need trample and pro colors? Those don't even go together. Since when do you need trample and flying? It's a dumpster fire of a card. It's virtually unplayable at that cost. 6 damage for 8 is stupid. I mean, she's good value if you cast her for free. Other than that, what is this dumb bitch doing in this set? Why did anybody put her in this? Apparently, Wizards' new policy is that you've got to be like wearing full Victorian or like have no tits to be a female on a card anymore, because it's a myth that women have breasts. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's a complete myth. I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you see a picture of a skinny, fit, beautiful woman with curves, we'll say, and you're a man and you're like, that's attractive, I like the look of that, you are a disgusting pervert. Yes, I know your brain is literally hardwired and programmed at a basic level to think that, but you are a disgusting pervert. You are not allowed to be attracted to women, according to Wizards of the Coast. That's me paraphrasing everything they've said in the last 6 months. And if you even look at a woman and you're like, she's attractive, you're a pervert. How dare you have a perfectly functioning heterosexual brain that wants to continue the species? Like, humans are supposed to die off, apparently. Fuck you, Wizards, and double fuck you, Akroma, and triple fuck you, whoever put this in the set. Well, that caffeine's kicking hard right now. I'm starting to regret taking that. Okay, next up we've got Kindle, which is funny because by the artwork, it looks to me like the Kindle Fire. Oh! Seriously though, Akroma, get the fuck out of this set. You're not welcome here. I'm not over it, and I'm never going to be over it. Kindle deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is 2 plus the number of cards named Kindle in all graveyards. It's kind of neat. I mean, after you get one in the graveyard, you basically have a better, I don't know, I was going to say lightning bolt, but not really. I take it back. This card's garbage. It's 25 cents, by the way, too. Now, that said, FYI, if you can draft like 12 of these, I'm throwing that out there, too. Next up, accumulated knowledge. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named accumulated knowledge in all graveyards, or as I like to call it, Kindle. This is so dumb because with no draw or scry assistance, and honestly, is this worth fetching with a scry? I mean, come on. Well, okay, maybe this one, Kindle, not really. But the whole name and copy, whatever, you can only have 4 in a normal constructed deck. So this is cool because it's like, draw 1 card for 2. I mean, is that like disastrous? No. It's no chart, of course, but it's also like not divination, you know what I mean? Now, they did say in all graveyards, oh boy, mirror match. But of course, if it's a mirror match, then it's a mirror match. And they get the benefit too. So you can draw a lot, but okay, once you've got one of these removed, your probability, we'll just say of 50 cards left in the deck, of pulling the remaining 3 is not very good. Roughly every time you draw a card, it's a 6% chance. And then all you would get is 2 cards for 2. And this card is just trash. It's just it's 25 cent garbage. Now, that said, it would be wonderful for Storm, technically. It's probably actually in Storm. I haven't even seen the different Storm lists in like 2 years. Next up, since Spike Shot Elder did so well in Modern Masters, they put Spike Shot Goblin in this set because 25 cents was too much for the Mirrodin edition. Yes, I'm now judging the value of commons. Get over it. Now, that artwork, I will say, is basically me when I see a Chinese buffet, okay? I pull over, and that's my face right there. Actually, just last week, we were playing at the OD, Old Dirty Chinese Magic, man. It's the Old Dirty Chinese buffet. It's like $7, and it's all you can eat, obviously. And we go play Magic there on the little sticky tables. That's Old Dirty Chinese Magic right there. It's my favorite format. What the fuck does this card even do? Okay, so you pay 1 red to tap it. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. Oh, that's nice with a boost spell. That's really nice. I mean, especially if you can somehow magically grant it vigilance and an attack boost, which I think there's actually a white enchantment that does that. I mean, honestly, like Always Watching does that. But there was one from like Theros, I thought, or something like that. Anyway, this card could be good. I mean, you can swing with it. And if it has vigilance in the middle of combat, basically give a double strike because you hit the same creature twice. Or if you know somebody's going to chump with it, or if you want to get a 2 for 1, you know, okay, they're already blocking, cool, tap it, it's boosted by 4, I'm going to deal, 5 damage to your face and 5 damage to the creature, they're both gone, and this was only a 1/2 for 3, so it's very flexible, but it's very situational. So I would actually be careful drafting this, because it's situational. Next up, Exclude. Now, this is a damn good card. Now, unfortunately, it's only 25 cents, but counter target spell for 3, draw a card. I would dare say that that is better mathematically than even Dissolve, which is counter target spell, double blue, if I'm not mistaken, and then 1 colorless, or generic, and then you scry. This one, I mean, it'll get a card out of your way by putting it in your hand, and Scry will maybe just do nothing. It'll just leave it there if you want it, which this will do 1 better. So 50% of the time it's as good and 50% of the time it's better. In draft, this card's insane. If you're playing, anything at all with blue, grab this. Now, before you go getting all kinds of ideas, for the record, this was in Commander 2014 and Invasion, which means that it's not legal in Modern. Sorry, guys, but what should be illegal in Modern is Counterspell. Next up, just a vanilla 3/3 for 2 called Watchwolf. I mean, all right. Once again, the chances of that being on color with what you already drafted is just about effectively 0. But if it is, you get a 3/3 for 2, which is just straight Value Town. Once again, Value Town is the plane right next to Flavor Town. Next up, this card is famous just because it's so funny. The artwork is like so unusual, and I do believe that it was confirmed that that guy has, there it is. His name is I'm not good at speaking whatever the hell that thing is. It's in the flavor text. It's FBLTHP. So that actually sounded pretty good. It's a 5-cost instant that puts a non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. I think there's like a 2-cost spell that does that. I mean, Unsummon doesn't do it. Cyclonic doesn't do it. Aetherize technically does it, but not really. There's like 100 better cards than this, but that artwork though. My issue with this card is this is the card they picked from Gatecrash. Out of all the amazing, insane cards from Gatecrash, this is what they picked. It must have been based solely on the artwork. And by the way, I do believe that there's like this whole thing where he's on like some homunculus card or something, or it's like the Library Guardian, or I don't remember. It's this whole thing. Look it up. Next up, Notion Thief. Actually, his actual name is Glowing Necklace Thief. This is a rare. It is approximately 63 cents. Don't know how they came up with a number that specific. It's a 3/1 for 4, so it's pretty much trash, but it does have flash, which is kind of funny. And if an opponent would draw a card, except for the first one that he or she draws in each of his or her draw steps, instead that player skips the draw and you draw a card. Ooh. So you have to flash it in, and you can kill something with 3 toughness as a surprise, so it's kind of like a 4-cost removal, so, okay. Now, if you use it for the effect, you automatically get a card to replace it, which is fantastic, or more. If they had something that said draw 3, ta-da. And then, on top of that, you've got a 3-power creature on the field, which is dangerous, and is this even worth, like, wasting a lightning bolt on? Not really, so it actually is, like, a pretty good card, but it's still only 63 cents. But then again, Gatecrash was printed to death. I mean, Dragon's Maze. I get those symbols confused all the time. I mean, the symbol literally looks like something crashing through a gate. I mean, come on, Wizards. Next up, another waste of a rare, but this is just a riot in draft or any kind of limited anything. Triskaidekaphobia. That's what they chose from Shadows. Not anything good like Geralf's Masterpiece, which would have been amazing. I mean, it's even black. It would have been mythic, though, but they could have downshifted it. You guys know what this does. It was just printed. It's just a fun little, undersea mine that your opponent might accidentally run their battleship into. That's the worst metaphor I've ever made in the history of this channel. Next up, we've got Stan Good Game, which is a wonderful League of Legends username. Guys, does that artwork not totally look like a League player? He looks like the type of League player that, like, hates League. Every single game he talks about how much he hates League, but he keeps playing League for some unknown frickin' reason. But it gets weirder from there. Okay, this is a 6-cost, which is on the upper bounds of what you can cast during a draft. It's a 3/4, and when Sting enters the battlefield, create a legendary 3/4 red and green human warrior token named Sting Twin, because of course. Exile that token when Sting leaves the battlefield. If anybody knows the lore on whatever the hell this thing is, just feel free. By the way, FYI, this is actually new artwork. There's almost no new artwork in this entire set, but as far as I know, this is brand new artwork. Also, this was downshifted from a rare in Chronicles and Legends to a uncommon. Oh, by the way, I should probably complete this. Okay, so when it enters the battlefield, you put out a 3/4 copy of himself, basically, named Sting Twin, so he has a different permanent name. Remember that. Exile that token when the original Sting leaves the battlefield, but sacrifice real Sting when the token leaves the battlefield. So if one twin dies, the other one dies. So they're conjoined twins or ghosts, or is it an illusion? It's not blue. I don't know who this guy is or what's going on with him or what his problem is, but I don't like the way he's looking at me, so I'm going to go to the next card. We have got Pernicious Deed. It's a 3 cost, and it's an enchantment, but it has a recurring ability, no tap, by the way, with X. Sacrifice I can't say it. Just sacrifice this card and destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with converted mana cost X or less. Oh! Now this card's about $5 because it is no freaking joke. This card is so good. In the original Conspiracy, it was a mythic. Unfortunately, it's still a sub $10 rare. I mean, it's not an absolute bomb out because it's honestly just a good card, and it's still about $4 or $5 probably, but I don't know. I haven't seen the pre-order on this. It's probably like $3. But this is just cool. I mean, if you're playing nothing but bombs, and remember, green is a ramp color, and black has really giant creatures that cost a lot, it's damn good. Also, I mean, this takes out a Walking Ballista, not that they wouldn't sack it. It takes out an Endless one, takes out certain types of Hydras, takes out really just anything with counters on it, because remember, it's going to start pretty low and then gain counters. So theoretically, if it's like an 8/8, it doesn't cost 8. So this just has a lot of use. It's just a good card. Next up, another $1.79-ish card in the rare slot. They just do not want you to make money on this set. Everybody put your hands in the air like you just don't care that it's 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts, because this 9-cost sorcery will destroy all creatures you don't control. They can't be regenerated, or as I like to call it, the crappy version of Ingaruk's Wake. Seriously, don't play this card. Play Ingaruk's Wake. It is better. This card is virtually worthless. It was printed in 8th, 9th, and 10th and Prophecy. Nobody that I've ever seen uses it. This is my first time even actually seeing this card. Why did they feel the need to put this in? Nobody has 9 mana at a draft, okay? That does not typically happen. If you get to it, great. I have a feeling the whole point of this card is to cast it for free. It's just, it's dumb. There's no reason. So anyway, that's the last of the spoilers for today. I'm already sick of looking at them. Overall, this is looking terrible. I don't think there was a card above $20 in today's spoilers at all, and we're running out of time and slots and everything. This set looks horrible. I mean, maybe it just looks horrible and the actual EV is going to be higher because of all these like $100 cards, but I don't think so. I will get you the final verdict within just a couple days though, so watch for that. Definitely hit the sub button if you don't want to miss it, because trust me, you don't want to miss it. And I will see you guys next video.